when I coach executive teams and write and all of that, I always say that my observation of executive teams and even my military experience is that the best leadership teams are those that can argue well.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, what do you mean argue well? You didn't argue in the military. Your colonel told you to do something. Oh, no, I don't know what your stereotypical view is, but nothing can be further than the truth. In the Marine Corps, people would be surprised at how much arguing goes on in the meeting.
Yeah.
Tactfully, professionally, there's rank involved. I'm a captain talking to a lieutenant colonel. That's a big deal in that environment. And you're pushing back hard. And the example I use is when there's a mission to be done, an enemy objective, a real mission in combat, that colonel usually has multiple units assigned to him and different specialties, helicopter borne, mechanical, wheeled vehicles, armored vehicles, boats. And all those commanders want that mission. And so they are pitching their scheme of maneuver, how they would accomplish that mission to the colonel. And he's listening, and all right, Mike just briefed his mission, his plan. What do you think? And they're shooting holes in it. That's a pretty good plan. But what about that? It'll never work and all that. And then at some point, the colonel, the euphemism we use, slaps the table. We are arguing. And at some point, he, boom, slaps the table and says, okay, I have made my decision. We're going with option C. The mechanized company. Well, that means I'm disappointed, and 3 or 4 other commanders are disappointed. And this is what I mean about arguing well. We've all said our piece. We've done our best. Colonel made a decision. And when that door opens up from that meeting room, everybody is leaving smiling, and I'll tell you what, option C is the plan. That plan is everybody's plan, and we are taught I was taught this as an 18-year-old enlisted leader in the Marine Corps. One of the worst things you can do is go back to your people and say, you're not going to believe what he wants to do.
Right.
We're ordered to do this, but this is terrible. We're all going to get killed. You can't do that,
Yep.
And so the analogy, the applicability between the both environments is really the same. And, I wondered if I triggered any additional thoughts on you. The ability to argue well, I think, is very important. I think you agree with that. And related to some of the earlier questions, how do senior leaders ensure that they have cultivated a team that knows they are expected, not only tolerated, is arguing well, they are expected to argue it. Don't sit there if you know a product rollout is doomed. Don't sit there, speak, let's hear it. Yeah. So your thoughts?
Yeah, I love the tool of the uncomfortable pause. Because that folks have questions. You're in a strategy session and you're talking about a new product launch that's going to fundamentally change how the business operates, and it's going to touch every part of the business. And you're telling me that you're sitting out there as the chief marketing officer and you have no questions? Come on. I'm going to sit here, and this is the teacher in me, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to patiently wait. So what do we know about human beings? We like to talk. We abhor a vacuum. We abhor silence. And we're also, we abhor change, all of those things, and we don't like conflict. The vast majority of us just run from conflict. So we're talking, creating that team where folks are going to constructively engage and argue well, as you put it. That runs counter to most people's, what they're all about as human beings. So this takes practice, and it's something that you really do have to practice as an executive team. And the best way that I did it was the use of silence. Because folks abhor a vacuum, they do not like silence, and the questions will come if you wait long enough.